Hello, I'm Charlene. Today I'll be giving my personal testimony of how I came to Christ and my life before getting saved, and basically my journey and the things I've been through to get me to the point where I am today. So yeah, I want to start off by saying that I didn't grow up in a religious household. I didn't grow up in a Christian household. Me and my family, we went to church occasionally, but we weren't regular church goers. Only sometimes, like on holidays and stuff. So growing up, I never really had a deep understanding of who God was, and I never really knew much about the Bible or Bible stories and stuff like that. So yeah, I grew up in a single parent household. I have a chronic illness, so I was sick a lot, and I was in and out the hospital, and I missed a lot of school, so I missed out on a lot of friendships and relationships with other kids. So I was very introverted, shy, quiet. I stayed to myself, didn't really say much. I didn't really get along with a lot of people, and I did get bullied and teased and made fun of and stuff like that. But it's that's how it is when you're kind of the shy, quiet kid. You get picked on a lot. But yeah, so I didn't really fit in school, and that was all the way up until I graduated. Even when I got to high school, I didn't fit in either. But I'll say around middle school, 12, 13 years old, I just started having a lot of depression, and I started just feeling down all the time. And I would come home from school depressed. I would cry myself to sleep every night, and I just had these overwhelming feelings of just I had a void inside of me, an emptiness, and I didn't know why or where it came from. But that this happened, this continued on until I was about my senior year of high school, where it got really bad to the point where I was super depressed, to the point where I wouldn't come out my room. I wouldn't socialize with anyone. I would stay to myself. I didn't want to be bothered. Yeah, and I just stayed in bed all day, and I was just super depressed. And one night I was laying in bed, and it was a TV program on TV, and the guy was talking about heaven and hell and eternity, and where is your soul gonna go when you die? And it really took me aback. It really took me back, because I never really heard anyone talk like that about hell, and I never really understood what went on in hell. And basically he was just saying he had a, I guess, out of body experience or something, and he was talking about all the pain and suffering and torments that go on in hell. And I was like shook. I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds horrible. So I definitely don't want to go there. And it always stayed in the back of my mind about that. That TV program always stayed in the back of my mind, his testimony, and I always thought about that. But that wasn't the night I got saved. That wasn't the night I gave my life to Christ. So these are my late teens, early 20s. I had really no direction in life. I was kind of just wandering around, really didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. I didn't know what my purpose was on this earth. I had dreams and goals of going to school and studying fashion and stuff like that, but I didn't really have much of a support system around me. So, it was kind of challenging to even accomplish small things in my life. And with my depression, I really couldn't focus in school. Like, I went to college for a short amount of time, but even when I went to community college, I really couldn't focus, because I was so depressed and just so out of it, and I really had no outlet or no one I can really talk to or lean on. And I just felt like all by myself in this world. Like, my family, they had their own problems, so they didn't really seem to care about, you know, what I was going through, and I didn't really want to bother anyone with what I was going through because I just felt like people had their own problems. So I kind of just suffered in silence for a long time, and I just thought I can feel that void in me with relationships with guys. I would date, different guys for like a couple months, and it wouldn't work out because either a lot of them were dealing with depression and emotional issues themselves, and we became toxic for each other, and it just wasn't a good relationship. So after failed relationship after failed relationship, I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I wanted to get married and have a family and have kids, but it just seemed like nothing was working out. And I'm like, when am I ever gonna be able to settle down and just have a life of my own and, accomplish things and be successful? But yeah, so I decided to move in with a family member of mine, and we lived together for a minute, but that turned out to be a toxic situation, and I had to come to a point in my life where I had to cut off everybody. I had to just let the past go and just move on with my life because everything in my life was not working out. Friendships, relationships, my depression wasn't getting any better. I had bad anxiety, and I was still struggling to just find my way in life and find my purpose and find just myself. And I just felt like this emptiness in my life. So after I pretty much cut everybody off and moved to another city, one night I got on my knees and I just cried out to God, and I just asked him to come in my life and to come in my heart and to help guide me and help me heal. And just I needed him in my life because I knew I couldn't do it on my own anymore. I just didn't have it in me to basically do my own thing because I just wasn't making the best choices, and I didn't have the best people around me. I didn't have any positive influences. I just didn't have any direction. And so, yeah, I, got saved, but I kind of stopped seeking God, and I kind of, started doing my own thing once I got a new job working close to my house, because I had met a person at my job and we started talking and seeing each other for a minute, and that situation didn't turn out good either, and the relationship was toxic, and I got really hurt. I got really hurt after that situation, and I just felt like I would never heal from that because it was so traumatizing basically. And I was just in a place where I was like, God, I'm not gonna do my own thing anymore. I'm just gonna leave everything in your hands because I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of going relationship to relationship. I'm tired of trying to make friendships happen that aren't meant to be. I'm tired of toxic people in my life. I'm tired of just dealing with nonsense. So I was like, God, I gotta start, seeking you more and develop my relationship with him more because it just wasn't working out for me doing it my way. So then God showed me that I needed to move to Texas. So I was like, I never up and moved out of state by myself, before. So I was like really afraid, but I had to step out on faith because I knew I needed to get out of that living situation I was in. I didn't have, like I said, positive influences in my life, and I didn't have a support system. So I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta, get out of this situation. So I booked the ticket. I left North Carolina and I got to Texas. When I got here, I was staying with a family member for a month or two, but after that, I knew I had to go and get to Houston to where God wanted me to be because, you know, like I said, sometimes your family is not the best influence on you. Not talking down on them or anything like that, but I needed to be around a new space, a new area. I needed a fresh start in my life, and I needed to be able to grow closer to God with no distractions. So I got on the bus and took the bus to Houston from the city I was in. And when I got here, I was really afraid because I was like, what am I going to do? I had money, but I didn't know what I was going to do after I got off the bus. I didn't know, I didn't know nobody here. I don't know anybody here. So I'm like, where am I going to go? What am I going to be at? Like, what am I going to do? I just was like really scared. So I started praying and just asking God, like, Lord, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? And God brought some people into my life and they took me in and, they helped me. And I was so thankful and grateful because I was really scared that I was going to have to be on the streets. I was scared that, I was going to get human trafficked or kidnapped or something crazy. But I'm glad I walked out on faith for God because if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm just grateful that He allowed me to come this far after I backslid and I did things that I had no business doing with people I had no business being with. So I have so much peace in my life now that, I am here in Texas and I can grow closer to God and we can deepen our relationship and I can seek Him more and grow with Him and He can teach me and guide me more in life without all the distractions. So, and I just want to make this video and testimony to anybody who is dealing with toxic friendships, toxic relationships, toxic family members, or abusive relationships. Give it all to God because only God can get you out that situation. You have to give it to Him because we think sometimes in life that we know what we're doing. We think we know the best for ourselves, but we really don't. Only God knows what's best for us. And we have to give Him that,